going to do another number line. So go ahead and set this one up. It can go right below. Nope, different numbers. This time, I'm going to do numbers 0 to 20. 0 is my endpoint, and 20 is my other endpoint. I have the following three numbers placed on my number line. I have number 4, number 7, and number 16.
Got it.
Your number 7 is way too in the middle. Yep. Liam, you got all those numbers down? 4, 7, and 16 in the middle of your number line? Great. Perfect. All right, we're going to answer a lot of the same questions. Which two numbers are closest together? I'm not asking which numbers are small. I'm not asking which numbers are large. I want to know which two numbers are the closest together. If I took little hops, which one would have the smallest amount of little bitty hops? Gavin?
4 and 7.
4 and 7 have the smallest distance. Go ahead and do a little hop. How far apart are 4 and 7? What's the distance between, or the difference between those two numbers? Emma?
4.
Not 4.
Oh.
Try again.
3.
3. If I start at 4, remember I make a fist, and then I count on to get to my end point. There is a difference of 3 between 4 and 7, so you should have a little jump from 4 to 7, and then thank you, and then another number 3 on top. Does that make sense? Yes? Annabelle, you with us? Okay. How far away is the 7 from the 16? How far away is the 7 from the 16? Remember, if you don't know, you need to start at the one endpoint and count on until you get to the next endpoint. Lucy? It is a difference of 9. If you started at 7 and then you counted on, you would get to 16 by counting 9 fingers. Do a little jump from the 7 to the 16 and write 9. Bailey, we're in math. Just join us when you get a chance. Right and sit up, please. Let's pretend I'm at 4. And I want to get to the 16. What would I need to add? How big of a jump would that be? If I want to get from the 4 to the 16. Draw your line from the 4 to the 16. There's 2 parts in there. Do you see the 2 smaller parts? Brayden, do you see them?
All you have to do is add the 3 and the 9.
Yes! All you have to do is add my 2 smaller jumps that I've already done. So I did a 3 jump to get me to the 7, and then a 9 jump to get me to the 16. If I add those two parts together, I get my whole big jump. What is my whole big jump? Darwin? 12. Because 9 plus 3 is going to give me a difference, or a total of 12. Excuse me. Make sense how I found that one? Could I start at 4 and count on until I get to 12? I mean, until I get to 16? Yeah. It'll work. It'll just be slower. Not as fast. This was the hard one. Let's try and figure out this one. Let's pretend my number line is 4 to 16. What's the middle? If my number line, I'm going to cover up the first part and cover up the end part. My number line is 4 to 16. What's going to be my middle number? Tricky. We already know that the difference for the distance between 4 and 16 is 12. And I know that my midway point is half. So what is 12 cut in half? Or what two parts is going to give me 12? William, do you know? 6 and 6. Very good. So I know I have to have 6 numbers on one side of my midway point and 6 numbers on the other side. It might be easier if I go ahead and draw where I think the middle's going to be. I don't know what that number is yet, but I can go ahead and draw it, right, Easton? Yep, I'm not convinced that you're paying attention. Bryce, will you close my door, please? Thanks. Is my midway point going to be the number 6? No, it's not going to be the number 6, because 6 would be way too close. How am I going to figure that out? Yes, Brayden, you gave me something. How am I going to figure that out? I know between this midway point that I don't know, this mystery, and 4 is a difference of 6 numbers. And this is a difference of 6 numbers. Bryce? It's going to be 10. How'd you figure that out? Yes! It's going to be the number 10. Bryce knew that my middle had to be 6 more numbers than my end point. Had to be 6 more from 4. 6 plus 4 gives me a number of 10. So my middle between 4 and 16 is 10. Go ahead and mark it on your number line if you have not done so. Alright, last one that we're going to do, well, maybe not. I don't remember. Which is greater? The distance between 4 and 7, or the distance between 16 and 20? If I look at my number line, I've already figured out the distance between 4 and 7. Look at your number line. Look at your number line. If you're looking at me, you're not looking at your number line. What is the difference between 4 and 7? It's written on your paper. I should see like every single hand because the difference between 4 and 7 is on that piece of paper. Adrian? 3. We did that already. Difference between 4 and 7 is 3. What's the difference between 16 16 and 20. What's the difference between 16 and 20? Gavin?
4.
4.
And that means...
Which pair has the greater distance? 4 and 7 or 16 and 20? Brindley?
16 and 20.
16 and 20 have a bigger difference than 4 and 7. It's not asking about which pair of numbers is bigger. It wants to know which jump is bigger. Does that make sense? Yes? Maybe? Hopefully? Ooh, I did have one more. This is a new one. We haven't thought about it in this way. It says, what number is less than 16 but greater than 4? What number is less than 16 but greater than 4? Find those numbers on your number line. You should be looking at your number line, Arwen. Which number, or what number, is less than 16 but greater than 4? Miranda, what do you know? 5 is a number that is less than 16 but greater than 4. What else is a number that's less than 16 but greater than 4? Annabella? 7. And that one's on our number line. That makes sense. Autumn? What is it?
20.
Is 20 less than 16?
Oh, what?
Is the number 20 less than 16? No. So it's not going to be less than 16. It is greater than 4, but not less than 16. Brayden, what you got?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Any of those numbers that Brayden just rattled off would be less than 16 and then more than 4, greater than 4. Miranda, you got a question? All right, we're going to do one more number line. This one is going to be a little bit harder because it's a little bit bigger. So new number line. Go ahead and draw a new number line in your notebook. This time we're going to mess with some really crazy endpoints.
How much?
The endpoints are going to be 15 to 85.
What?
I know, this is a really big one. 15 to 85 is going to be the endpoints. Gavin, take your hood off, please. Thank you. I have the following numbers placed on the number line as well. I have the numbers 21, 35, and 51. Make sure those numbers are also placed on your number line.
Here. Wait.
The numbers are 21, 35, and 51. Same first starting question. Which two numbers are closest? Which two numbers are closest together? It's a good idea to just start by looking at visually, if I'm just looking at it, which one looks closest together. But then you need to make sure mathematically that's correct. Think about how many numbers are actually in between. Adria, which numbers are closest to each other?
15 and 21.
And how far away are they?
6 somewhere.
They are 6 numbers away. Those two numbers are the closest. Do a little jump from 15 to 21 and label that jump 6. I love that I saw Adria use the counting on strategy to figure out that there are 6 numbers in between 15 and 21. This is a hard one. I'm going to give you some time to think before I ask for friends to raise their hand. It says, which is a greater distance? 21 to 85 or 15, or excuse me, 51 to 15. So let's draw these jumps in our notebook so that you remember. The first one is 21 to 85. It's a very big jump. 21 to 85. And then we have 51 to 15. Draw the jump from 51 to 15. And then I'm going to give you some time to figure out which one has the greater distance. Let's use that same strategy that we did earlier. So let's skip count by 10. So let me get a different color marker going. Alright, 15 plus 10. 15 plus 10.
25.
25. Plus 10.
45.
35. Plus 10.
45.
Oh, I guess that this is not looking right. Plus 10.
55.
Ooh, that's too much.
Yep.
Because I want to stop at 51.
There goes 6 more.
So I need to count on from 45 to 51. Emma, how much is that?
6.
So my last little jump is going to be worth 6. Now I need to go back and count my 10 jumps. 1, 2, 3. That's worth 30. Plus my leftover 6. 30 plus 6 equals how much? Adria?
36.
36. Which one of those has the greatest distance? For sure now. A lot of you thought it was true, but now you definitely know. Arwen? 21 to 85 because it has a distance of 64, which is way bigger
If it was
than the distance of 36. What number is exactly halfway between 35 and 85?
45.
Which number is halfway between 35 and 85? If I'm going to figure out which number is halfway, I need to figure out the distance between 35 and 85. Brandon, wear your mask correctly, please. How far away is 35 to 85?
45.
This would be another good one to skip count by your 10s. $35. 45. 85. So it's a difference of 5. It's a difference of 50. Remember, I was counting by 10s. So if it's a difference of 50, what's going to be the middle? How many numbers do I need on the left, and how many numbers do I need on the right? If I split 50 in half, how many numbers do I need on each side? Remember, this is something plus something equals 50, and it's the same number. Eliana? 25. 25 plus 25 equals 50. That means I'm going to put my pretend middle. There's 25 numbers between 35 and this number. There's 25 numbers between 85 and that number. What is the mystery number? You're either going to need to go 35 plus 25 more to get there, or start at 85 and go 25 backwards. Nope. If I break apart my 25 into 20 and 5, 35 plus 10 is 45. Plus another 10 is 55. That's my 20. And then I just have to add 5 more. What's 55 plus 5 more? Right? 60. My middle point is